So dosha prakriti or constitution, this is another question that they sent me. Someone asked, I don't know the name, about the constitution, and I want to settle this also once and forever. There are three different possibilities where there can be a mix-up between dosha as a constitution, dosha as current stage, and dosha as imbalance. And there is a lot of that gets mixed up. So I want to clarify that. Number one, there is, we can say, reference point or reference DNA or reference Prakriti, which is what we are born with. We are born with, and we know that whatever bone structure, whatever height, whatever skin oiliness or dryness, hair, all of this is fixed, right? It can change its color and form, but not fundamentally. The basic frame will stay same. That is called fixed DNA. DNA for reference. We always will refer to this. This one is permanent. But the permanent is only small percentage. The modern science of epigenetics actually confirms this, that large part of DNA is actually fluid and can change by different kinds of foods, vegetables, lifestyle, and mental practices that we do. It goes into the DNA and it can actually change for good or change for bad. But the basic reference point is this. This is Janma Prakriti, means dosha constitution by birth. Okay. Now, another important point here, that if you are born with Vata, you are born with Pitta, you are born with Kapha, there are goods and bads for each one of them. Like say Kapha people have easy tendency to gain weight and they are struggling with it. So they want, I wish I was not Kapha. So they want to be Pitta. That's why they want, can I change my Prakriti? Now, important thing here is you could be born with any dosha. That doesn't mean that you will be born with sicknesses or symptoms of that dosha. The only thing here to remember is the tendencies that we get. But tendencies can be prevented to convert into symptoms by practice and living according to each dosha. Tendency doesn't mean, like say Vata tendency, they struggle with sleep, they struggle with restlessness. But that doesn't mean they will have this for whole lifetime. It's the tendencies. I have seen so many people completely physically Vata, but when they practice yoga and meditation, I have seen them the calmest person than many Kapha people. So this is possible that you can lower down your tendencies, completely prevent them from manifesting into illness according to dosha type you are. Second point here is that besides this underlying current of whatever dosha type or DNA we have, this is also changing according to age. We call that Deha Prakriti or dosha constitution by age. And this is variable. I'm sorry if it is spelled wrong. It's the variable. S is not, should not be there. According to age. So say if you are born Pitta, first 20 years, 25 years, it is Kapha predominant. So doesn't matter you are born Vata, you are born Pitta, you are born Kapha, you still will relatively have Kapha predominant activities in your body in the first 25 years, because everyone from very young child, newborn, has to grow, and that growth comes from Kapha. So everyone, it doesn't change the Prakriti, it is just what is needed in that particular age. Say if you are born Pitta and then you are in the age of 25 to say 40, 45, Pitta people will have more prominent Pitta, right? And then it goes into the Vata phase, which is from 50 onwards. So everyone Vata people will have even more prominent Vata in that age. Kapha people will also have, even being Kapha, born with Kapha. So this is important thing here, how to see the interaction of underlying DNA or dosha prakriti to deha prakriti according to age. The third thing is the vikriti of particular dosha. Important. If you are born vata doesn't mean you will not have kapha imbalance or you will not have pitta imbalance. If you are born kapha does not mean that you can never have, you can only have kapha imbalance, not pitta and not vata. So any type you are, if you are pitta and if you are eating very spicy food, of course pitta can go out of balance. But if you are being pitta and eats too much of kapha food, ice cream and chocolates in too much quantity, of course, even being pitta, you can have kapha out of balance. So anyone, this is at any stage, anyone, irrespective of what dosha type you are, you can have imbalance of any dosha. Now the question is, so what do you focus upon at one particular stage when you have some, say, you have sinus congestion, mucus, or mucus coming through your lungs? What do you focus upon? What should be the sequence at one particular time? So dosha prakriti, any dosha constitution means tendency is not necessarily imbalance. Okay. So here, now these three things we have understood. It is good always to know your birth dosha constitution, always, because that's underlying current. Then also know which stage of life you are in. So is it the kapha stage, pitta stage, or vata stage? Okay. If you are in vata stage, then you will have to follow vata regimen, keeping your underlying dosha in mind. Now, what do you focus first? First, you will focus upon whatever is out of balance today. You were told that you are pitta type, but you have sinus congestion, mucus going on, and throat congestion. You will not focus on pitta diet at that time. You will focus on vata diet. Kapha diet, right? So first thing to focus as of today, where you are, is your dosha balance or out of balance? If it is out of balance, you focus on that first. Doesn't matter what type you are. Of course, when you are pitta type and you have kapha imbalance, and the rule is opposite to dosha out of balance. So here kapha is out of balance, which is cold and heavy and oily. So you recommend opposite, which means you recommend hot. But you will recommend hot things for kapha imbalance in pitta carefully. You will take a moderate approach. That's the only difference, right? So this is why it is important that you understand how to practice it in your day-to-day life. You will always keep in mind your birth DNA, birth dosha constitution, and then when you have to use opposite, use keeping that in mind. Okay. So this basically I wanted to give brief overview of or understanding, simple understanding of dosha and how to practice it. And as I can tell you, reading in the book, hearing this lecture, it will make pretty much sense. But practice is little bit more than totally simple. It's a little bit more complicated. But I can tell you, if you will keep practicing, perceive, observe, experience, validate again and again through your own practice, I can guarantee you will reach to a point, and I'm saying this with confidence with my personal experience.